All right, so we're live. I'm gonna take a chance. I'm in like huge traffic. It took me this morning. It's the first like big snowfall here in Canada. And it took got out. I left at 6:45 and I arrived at work at 9:15. And usually it takes about 15 minutes for me to get to work. So now driving home, same situations occurring. So as you can see, probably from the background, everything's really going nice and slow. So I'm bored, and it's been a while. I haven't been online. Maybe kind of give you guys a quick update if I can. Let me see if I can post invites. Copy. To get used to this. There. So I have the comments. It would be nice if I was able to post that post comment. What up, Kai? I'm just trying to figure out how to post an invite while on my phone. Copy. Okay. And then if it doesn't work, well, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't really want to be looking down on my phone. I just want to like have it straight ahead. Ah, darn it. That's too bad. I really wanted to allow people to come on if they could. Yeah, so here's the update and stuff like that. I am 100% going to get back on track with the Daily Bread readings. Will I be able to do it every day? I don't think I'll be able to, but I definitely do not want to fizzle out and just stop doing that. We've gotten through like more like 70% of the New Testament. Um, Most of the readings for the Daily Bread will be done in the evening, most likely, because I mean, I already have to travel and there's construction and stuff like that. I'd have to get up like be like 4 in the morning or something and doing Daily Bread live for people. Everyone's sleeping, so we'll probably get a little bit better, um, you know. Interaction and stuff like that. We'll have more people during the live if we do it 6 Eastern, 7, 5 Eastern, those areas. Sorry for today not doing the fast keto carnivore live stream that we want to do regularly at 6 Eastern. Usually Mondays I'm off, and as you can see, I'm stuck in traffic. So I was thinking of doing it, and I said I could take me 3 hours to get home. So that's why today we're not doing the live stream for keto and fasting, but we will have Bruce on. I'm gonna try and get some people that are at the hospital. It's funny, like 4 years ago, I was trying to like get everybody to go into the ketogenic diet, carnivore, cult and stuff like that. Nobody was biting, and now it's like people are just like 4 years later, oh, they're trying keto. So I have two people, uh, nothing to do with me. I mean, they're aware that I'm a keto guy, very passionate about that. But no, they decided to do it on themselves. You can tell that one of them, still that the guy is using it to lose weight. He is acknowledging that the weight is coming off with the keto, but he's like, but like you just it works really good. He says it works really good. You just can't do it long term because eating all that fat is not good for you. So then I was like, okay, that's no problem. So this is why the Monday streams are necessary, because we got to talk about the actual research that's out there when it comes to stuff like ketogenic diets or low carb, high fat diets and things like that. So the Monday stream, bear with me. We will. I have not given up on that Monday stream being regular. And for people interested in Christian reading, I want to get. There's no reason why I can't, get at least three streams per week, even on a busy time. Again, uh, I'm just doing this live stream because I'm in traffic, as I mentioned at the start. But definitely want to be consistent with the Christian content. Definitely want the Monday to be something that's consistent as well. Um, JD took his little well, he took his vacation in July or something and enjoyed it so much he took a little bit of time off. So he's back online, and we're going to be doing content together. Me and JD, like, look, my opinion on JD Garland Farms is that we talk about regenerative farming, we talk about nutrition, veganism, and he's extremely knowledgeable in those areas. But he's a super smart dude, and he is an interesting person with interesting perspectives on a wide variety of things. So I will want to do some fun content that is just random interesting things like that. And there's also just fun things like we could just have an open panel, and while we're waiting for people to pop on, we can just um, look at YouTube Shorts or TikToks, and just these toxic TikToks. They are toxic, but you could swipe through them. They're funny and stuff like that. Like I said, the title here I just put up, uh, uh, toxic culture talk. I just put whatever up there. We can talk about anything within culture, how toxic it is. But I really feel that there's something going on with apps like TikTok or even the YouTube short configuration, but definitely the TikTok is our brains are not adapted. Our brains have never had this kind of stimulus, and it's doing something bad, guys. There is something, it's frying our brains in a bad way. And you know it, to be scrolling through these things so quickly, and for a algorithm to be pushing things that are, to create trends. Things don't start trending. It's the algorithm that determines what will trend. And then after you have these things that are trending that are very destructive to the Western culture. And obviously, it's our youth that are their eyes are glued onto these screens. We know that social media, Facebook and stuff, can increase anxiety. It can create psychological pathologies. Just Facebook has negative effects. So TikTok, it's like a repetitive, because people will hear these brief things, a couple of seconds, but they're pushing the same narratives, and then after it becomes like this brainwashing. And it's if you look at what TikTok is used for in China, because TikTok is a Chinese app, and what it's used for here in the West and stuff like that, it's not the same app. Okay, they have basically like math equations to practice and stuff like that. It's crazy. but they're allowing the most degenerate ideologies and movements that are occurring right now. They're pushing it up right into the forefront of what you're going to be fed in your streams, and they know darn well that it is destructive to the culture. So that's for sure one situation. Pornography, same damn thing. Okay. Um, Again, haven't done deep dive into it, but there, I've heard that there's studies and stuff like that, how it can create neurological changes even in adults. Um, Married, people, mostly men, cannot get sexually aroused just with normal, yeah, sex, because they're getting these dopamine hits looking at pornography, and it creates neurological changes, and they need more and more and more, and it leads to any other addiction, more and more degeneracy. And we have things like Pornhub, RedTube. I think those are the two most popular, um, that are at a child's fingertip. You don't need a visa number to get into these things. At the very least, anything pornographic, right down to soft, okay? Um, Anything should be banned. You shouldn't be able to see those images. They should be all be behind a wall. You want to see naked pictures or videos or something? The only way is to use a visa. So at least you're taking the pornography out of the child's hands, and you have these children that are 8, okay, looking at pornography while their brain's developing. Okay, you have this disgusting dating culture with these, I don't know. I'm married. I don't deal with these, but Tinder and stuff like that. These swiping apps. Again, it's doing something psychological, to it. The men, it's uh, men are just taking advantage of this. It seems to run through as many women as they can. But the problem is that the women who think that they're sexually liberated and that this is empowering to have a lot of sex and act like a pig like the guys do, this is viewed as empowerment. But the feminist movement, the empowered ladies and stuff like that, it seems like the women have never been so unhappy in their relationships, in their dating life and stuff like that. Um, I kind of once in a while I'll fall on checking the podcast, whatever, to kind of keep an eye on the culture that my 16 and 18-year-old are subjected to, as well as our 2-year-old granddaughter that we're raising. It's a very toxic culture, and I'm a lot wiser, now that I raised 4 kids that were not mine, and I learned a lot. But I was 20 years old, so what do you know at 20? And I made a lot of mistakes, and learned a lot of things with my 2 children. And now I am dealing with number 7, and Grandpa knows what he's doing now. So it's a real pleasure, and she's quite a blessing. But I am not going to raise her the same way that I raised my children. I made mistakes. I think that I forgot, that there's a difference between a parent and a friend. Trying to, that. See, the problem is that psychologists have put out so much garbage. Okay, psychology has put out so much darn garbage. Okay, that they come out with these studies, they come out with these books about parenting, about how to improve parenting, and it's all garbage. It's all garbage. The old school, you know, biblical value, you know, raising of kids with, you know, spankings if they're deserved to, it is the way to go. Um, I had we had trouble with one. Well, no, we had trouble with a lot of Michelle's kids because her ex was in the picture. I'm the new guy, 4 kids. You know, it was Jerry Springer and Dr. Phil at times, for sure. It was, you know, it was definitely a very, very difficult time. But now the culture, guys, it is, well, there are some ideologies that are screaming to be affirmed that I don't agree with. There's ideologies that, I'll leave it at that. They are ideologies that scream for affirmation that are being pushed on children who, you know, still at these ages are believing in possibly fairy, you know, Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and these children, are being put in positions uh, that confuse them, and yeah, so we have the school systems now. Forget about it. Okay, they're garbage. They're not only like, they're not only just like, oh, they're useless. No, no, they're actually bad because the teachers aren't teaching the core things that they should be teaching. They're not teaching you, you know, arithmetic, you know, the basic math, English languages, basics, right, guys? No, they're teaching them about how to become activists. They're teaching them about climate change. They're teaching the children basically to become activists and stuff like that. The kids are illiterate. The kids don't know how to speak. They're texting. At this point, you know, it's funny. You look at the King James English, you know, how articulate and sophisticated English is, you know, and now we're at the point of LOL and OMG and emojis. So we started with hieroglyphic language, pictorial language, and as we evolved, you know, because we're a lot smarter now, we evolved to the King James English, and now we're back to hieroglyphics. We're back to like thumbs up, LOL, laughing emojis, and stuff like that. The children cannot write. Um, you know, they just, this generation has, they don't write. Like they have very poor uh, reading skills because they're not reading. They're just reading posts and stuff like that. The autocorrect, you know, is like their spelling. You know, it's done. Everything is done for them. Um, so yeah, I'm you know, personally, I'm just completely disgusted with the culture at this point. You know, um, legalizing drugs and things like that. I mean, there's programs all over the place in the States, in Canada, and stuff like that, where junkies can go get, you know, clean needles, and there's injection sites, and they've tried all that, man. And it does make sense, like harm reduction and stuff like that. It's not working, guys. It is not working. Okay. You know, now we have fentanyl. um, Now they're adding to the fentanyl, they're adding some new horse trank, not ketamine, something else. And, you know, so yeah, I find that there's no more value in virtue. Virtue is no longer valued by a large swath of the new generation. Okay, I'm speaking, I'm generalizing a lot. Okay, there are still some sound people, but there is a wave. There is a global change that's occurred where it's very very hard to see. Um, what else? What else? I mean, the idea of being masculine in this toxic culture. So in this toxic culture, it is toxic to exhibit traditional masculine traits. So now you hear about toxic masculinity. Okay. So men, anything and everything um, that has to do with inequality in the West has to do with the patriarchy, right? I keep on hearing about men making more than women. I don't know in other places, but in Canada, respiratory therapist, that's my profession. We, girl, boy, we work on echelons. Lawyers paid the same, woman or man. Lawyers, there's men and women in Canada. There's doctors. I think there's actually more women doctors at the moment now than male doctors in Canada. Um, so there's every single profession, okay, a woman can be in, okay, and they will be paid the same amount. If you're a female lawyer in Canada, you'll be whatever. If you're a judge, if you're a doctor, it's really if you're a dentist, there's absolutely no difference between men and women. So I don't understand why that is still a situation that I see on whatever podcast being spoken about. I'm like, no, like there's absolutely no difference in pay between men and women. And I think that this goes not just for Canada, but I'll speak strictly as a Canadian. The problem is if you look at statistics, so when you start doing these things like and these are very vague scientific statistics that stupid people use to influence other stupid people with big statistics and stuff like that. So what else here? Just give me a second. We have 8 people. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell I can really want to post the copy. So I'm still trying to post the invite. It says guest, invite guests, copy. It says copied. Um, I know what I can do. Give me a second. Yeah, if ever it cuts, it cuts. Not much I can do. I'm just gonna post it on here. It might work. Won't be long. This will work. There you go. So feel free to pop in if you like, guys. Now I might miss you guys if whatever. We'll see. I don't know where it'll pop up, but we'll check in later. Okay. Yeah. So what else? What else? What else? Yeah, it's just basically, I mean, um, the West is built on Judeo-Christian values. Okay, and I say Judeo-Christian because there's zero difference between the Christian God and the Judeo God. Okay, Judaism would push the same values in the West than Christianity, meaning we're made in the image of God, and the moral laws and stuff like that. So I do give credit to Judeo-Christian values that have pushed the West. But yes, it was a lot of the fathers of our nation, the fathers of science and stuff like that, were Christian, um, and and the values. Even if you were atheists, oh, my dad was atheist, but he'd go to church on Sunday and sit there and be quiet and stuff like that. But he was a strict man, but he taught us good values. And so, this is what we have to get back to. Um, and this is what what I feel maybe I made, certain mistakes as parents and stuff like that, in retrospect and stuff like that. But you know, here's an example. We're having trouble with one of my wife's kids, okay? And we go to kind of like not social workers, like a psychotherapist, or these, we call them CLSCs in Quebec and stuff like that. It's a psychologist. If or families having problems with behavior, there's you go there, and there's resources to help you and stuff like that. So this was what they said for children that are rebellious or not obedient. Okay, they said you're going to make a chart, okay, and you're going to put a reward system. You're going to go buy some plastic gems, at Walmart or something, and he's going to have a chart, and he's going to redeem points. And with these points, he can get, perks, stuff like that, rewards. So now, first of all, in my opinion, what that is teaching the child is, yeah, don't do anything for anyone ever unless you get paid for it. Don't help out the family. Okay, it's like, don't view the family as a small practice of a society, which you should be looking not at yourself but outwards towards others, what you can do for them, and everyone is reciprocating this, and everyone's functioning and thinking of other people, and it's a well-oiled machine and stuff like that. No, they were saying, yeah, just bribe him, basically. So this is because of academia. These kind of ideas that are being pushed by psychologists and stuff like that are because they moved away from the Bible. About, what? Yeah, you will get a little swat on your butt if you're not listening. Okay, no, I'm telling you because I'm your father. Okay, I'm telling you, and you're gonna listen. I'm not gonna explain to you, okay, why. I'm your father. Listen, that kind of thing. Like, there's stages, you know, like like I think parents have become friends, and becoming a friend with your child is the worst thing you could do. The child uh, is it the child's brain is not fully developed, and you're going to be questioned by these children and stuff like that. So you know what? No, okay, a child, okay, there's, obviously an infant, you're taking care, right? You're the servant of the infant. Then the infant too starts to get, okay, it's no. You don't explain yourself. The child knows that when I say no, it's no. So that's the next focus. Then as the child gets a little bit older, then it's no, but then they can understand why it's no. And then as they're teenagers and stuff like that, then, so the relationship of parenting evolves through all various stages. It's not the same from the start to the end and stuff like that. And a lot of the problems with parenting are because the the parents are not even on the same track, or the parents can't even communicate with each other. The parents are yelling at each other, you know? So another thing, is look, Captain Obvious here, but it's true. A child will look at how the parents are treating each other, and they will respond that way. A child instinctually knows, okay, if a parent is they're constantly their tone is elevated, and stuff like that. The child knows that. It creates anxiety in the child before the child even knows what fighting and stuff, is all about. So parents have to be the perfect example, and the children will listen way more to what you're doing than to what you're saying. You know, you know, believe me. So raising your voice and stuff like that. These are like superpowers. If you yell, it might work at the start, but if you use it consistently, it'll create resistance, and it'll become useless because you're constantly using that. So it means nothing. You know. So what else? So the culture is toxic on the educational level. The leftist woke ideologues have infiltrated from kindergarten to the universities and stuff like that. So the education system is an indoctrination program that views the parents as incompetent, and as the state in a way is has more authority to raise your child, like meaning the state has to watch the parent, because somehow this new idea is that the child must be protected from the parent by the teacher. So it's pretty serious in Canada, like parents losing their children in custody and stuff like that. And then we get into universities, and like, give me a break, it's a joke. Um, so that's why we're daycare, same thing. Watch out the daycares. And the issue here is daycares, right? Okay. So this is my opinion in retrospect. The most important job, the most important job in the world is being a mother, being a parent. Okay. But more importantly, because the first stages, the first years, okay, the mother is essential. You know what I mean? Um, so what's happened now is feminism came and said that women staying at home and raising children is 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 below them. It's to belittle a woman to raise up the offspring, the child, okay, in their most important developmental years, okay, where, attention, not just being in the room with the child, but pure attention. Okay, the child knows that to imprint your values. The most important job is, in my opinion, the mother and the developmental years. We've the feminist movement arrived, okay, and they said that no, you know what, it's empowering for women to leave the home and leave their children to be raised by other people, basically, while you're at work. Go onto the job market and compete with the men, to prove that you can do just as good a job as the men. And of course, women can do just as good jobs, generally speaking, as men. So now the thing is that you have the mother and the father working, So you don't have in the household one person getting taxed, you have two people getting taxed. So now the mother is working, government is getting taxes from that. The child is being raised by the culture, the communities, by the daycares, by the teachers that are there in class, by the after school teachers and stuff like that. And on top of it, when you finally are in the presence of your parents, well, most of the time, parents included are on YouTube doing their own thing, and everyone's on their own phones. And then they're wondering why this generation is just unraveling and falling apart. Um, so we got the education, um, nutrition. Never been this sick. Okay, they're still lying to us about animal nutrition, about the fat in animal food being essential to our health, the protein in there, that carbohydrates, what are they used for, the middle section, all about the seed oils. You know, I keep on hearing about concerns about keto, concerns about red meat, but when there's like zero question about the seed oils oxidizing us and inflaming us, and yet everybody still are scarfing down seed oils uh, and stuff. So we're, our children are obese. They're not even getting sick. By the time they're 20, they're already sick. They haven't even hit puberty, and they're dealing with diabetes now. Okay, and they're getting pills, and big pharmas giving children diet pills now for weight loss, when all the kids have to do is freaking start eating a animal based nutrition and remove the carbohydrates that are in the middle section. Let them eat the outside, chicken, vegetables, fruits, milk, dairy, whatever, side vegetables, fruits, all you want. I don't care, but that's not what they're eating. So we have kids that are sick. Okay, when you're malnourished as a child, depression sets in. Okay, mood disorder, mental illnesses come in when there's nutrient deficiencies. Okay, then after, the children aren't taught anything about virtues, warnings about vices. They're put in front of these screens to like just endlessly scroll over and over, receiving what the mainstream message wants them to receive over and over. They go to school, the teachers are talking about climate change instead of talking about other stuff. Religion ripped out completely from the anything from anything in the West. But when that was ripped out, they didn't at least keep some kind of moral education, looking at the benefits of forgiveness, so that children, while they're in school, they're understanding that yes, it's natural for us to become resentful. That resentment, okay, is like a poison that you drink hoping to hurt your enemy. Resentment is a cancer that will simmer if not dealt with for the rest of your life. Resentments lead to alcoholism, to drug addiction, to violence, to everything. Okay, so children are not taught how to process incoming situations in their lives, to digest all of the natural impulses, ideas, thoughts that come typically to us, and to use these vices and virtues in a way that is beneficial, so that when they leave school, they also know how to write and read, but they know how to literally be human. Because right now, religion is completely being squashed in the West. It's created a void where there's no talk of virtue. So if the virtue talk and understanding is not there, vice naturally comes out. And what we have here is anytime the culture uh, puts an emphasis on looking outwards towards others, society will benefit. If you're setting up situations where it creates an inward reflection constantly, people will be constantly looking at, no further than their own nose, and it'll have a negative effect. Resentments, okay, need to be processed, okay. Reliving a hate, resentiment, to sense something, to resense something over and over. I know because I was not a resentful person, but I had one huge resentment that ruled my life, that led to alcoholism, that led to AA, that led to the inventory that I did in AA, and that led to the what we literally call a resentment list. So resentment is poison. I don't hear any talk about 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 16-year-olds understanding what is a resentment, what it'll do if we don't deal with it, why it's there, how can we deal with it. What about um, being having patience as a virtue? You know what I mean? Everything in society is geared towards immediate satisfaction. So we have the most impatient generation and the most impatient adults as well that we've ever seen. Patience is a virtue. Okay, going through patience, the benefits of patience. We could go through all of the vices, and as well, the traditional male um, uh, the traditional feminine manifestations, the traditional masculine manifestations. Yes, you can have masculine women, butch women. You can have very effeminate men. They seem to be effeminate. That's fine, and stuff like that. Having, a feminine man doesn't make that man any less manly. He just is exhibiting, feminine traits, which, like I said, the majority, it's like a bell curve. The majority are here right in the middle, and there's people on each, ends for sure. But the destruction of traditional feminine roles, you know, uh, the traditional feminine roles that I see best represented and maintained are kind of like Japanese culture, women being modest, uh, gentle, quiet. I mean, I love the Japanese culture. Like, I mean, everything they pour, everything just is done with this beautiful, poetic and artfully graceful Zen flow kind of thing. It's beautiful culture and stuff like that. So the traditional male roles are being called toxic masculinity, and the traditional male feminine roles are as well being poo-pooed on. So what you have now are men becoming more and more feminine and women becoming more and more masculine, okay, in their behaviors, and now the women are unhappy. So women want to be sexually liberated like men, but they still want the traditional guy that will pay for supper and still open the door kind of thing. That's what I'm seeing with the whatever podcasts and stuff like that. Looking at the how dating and stuff like that, the women are very unhappy, very unhappy. They're clueless why this is happening. They've completely abandoned any traditional feminine roles. In fact, any man who would say that these traditional roles are beneficial and ideal and they serve a purpose is seen as sexist. Um, Men that have traditional masculine roles are being called toxic masculinity. It's very simple. Okay, humans. Okay, there can be human. Okay, because man or woman, we're all able to manifest the exact same vices or virtues. So I would say, as a Christian, the problem is sin. Okay, men sometimes will create uh, much more aggressive and violent physical, violence, and women might be more verbal. They might, go after character destruction and stuff like that. They go around it differently, but they're still, seeking the same darn thing. Just give me a second. Everything's verging into one lane. Just got to pay attention. Yeah. So, anyways, what I'm saying is, same thing. Traditional nuclear family, married, mommy and daddy with children, right? Traditional role. Dad goes out. Okay, father is the one that has the job. Mother stays home, takes care of the house. Is traditional roles. Um, Men can pull off the feminine roles, and women can pull off the feminine roles. But I do actually think that there is something to hormones. Hormones, right, are molecules. They're they're drugs that your body produces. So hormones have a strong, strong impact, these molecules, on behavior, on your thoughts, on all of your men, everything. So that being said, is men with testosterone, okay, will create certain a more stern, perhaps, approach that is less emotional, that is harsher, perhaps, that is better with discipline, that is more intimidating, that like the male roles, and no, I used to be worried about being called sexist and so it's like, no, you know what? If I say the ideal situation is for a woman to stay at home and raise the child, and then they say, oh, you're sexist, I'll say, no, you're sexist, because what you're doing is you're literally crapping on being a mother. You're the one that's saying being a mother is worthless as a job, and it's below any other job that a man can find. That's basically, if you're insulted by me saying to you that the most important job and most likely the ideal candidate for that job, just based on hormonal profile, which influences and creates most often a maternal behavior in the woman. I think that's equal. Okay, I think that the mother's role plays a much bigger part, one-on-one with the child, in those first years, and stuff like that. And we're looking at society, and think of it this way. I don't know. I don't even know where I can see the. Oh, here. Not even sure where I can see the back. I'm not gonna play too much with that. Sorry, guys. Um, I know we can, because I've done with Streamlabs and stuff like that. When you do it on your phone, and some of the options aren't there, but I definitely know I can add somebody. So I am really sorry if there's anybody there. I can't see you. Okay, so what else? What else? We were talking about traditional roles. Yeah, I think that traditional roles are ideal in retrospect. Um, I was raised, like, my dad died when I was 2, and until I was 8, I was raised by my mom, and she did an amazing job. But I'm sure if I would ask my mom and say, "Okay, mom, you did an amazing job, but do you think it would have done the same, better, or worse if you had, you know, my dad, my dad passed away. So if dad was there, would you have been better off, worse off? Likely better off. She would have had a little break from doing stuff. She wouldn't have had to do every single part. She would have been able to have room to breathe. So yeah, I'm sure that a woman or a father, single parent, uh, of course they can do a great job. But what I'm saying is, imagine that parent that did a great job if they would have had another competent partner. They would have like done even more better, kind of thing, in my opinion. All right. Toxic culture, toxic culture. I mean, we're also looking. So sorry, I can't really look at the comments, start reading the comments, stuff like that. But tell me in retrospect what you think about traditional roles and stuff like that. Is it sexist when I'm saying that in general, men and women are different? We're different in many ways, chromosomal differences. We also, because of our DNA, we have different organs because we have different purposes for those organs. We have different chemicals, estrogen, testosterone, stuff like that, flowing through, our our vein, our veins, influencing our behaviors, our emotions, and it seems like this estrogen is fine tuned to maximize the bond between the mother and the child at that specific age. And it seems like the father, the testosterone, the minute the kids go through puberty, all of a sudden muscles get a little bit bigger, they get a little bit more ambitious, a little bit more competitive, a little bit, and all of these, it's like, yeah, imagine like prior to modern living and stuff like that. Yeah, of course, all jobs were dangerous and hard, and likely if you're two people and you have to partner up in a household, and the job is hard, physically hard, and stuff like that. Well, the chances are the best one is probably the man, right? To go do the job. Prior to having the stupid imitation breast milk there, Ensure or whatever, Similac, whatever you call it, something like that. That didn't exist, something like that. Yeah, well, she's breastfeeding. Okay, so chances are she has to feed the baby. She has to take care of the baby's needs. She's vulnerable. She got her boob out. She got to feed the baby. Chances are, she should stay at home, and I should, the men in the community should be the ones going outwards, some of that. Now we live where women, they can have the pill, they can have sex with 100 guys, doesn't matter. Oh, I got pregnant, it doesn't matter. I can get an abortion, I can get the pill, the next day pill, plan B. There's all these options that, yes, have allow women to decide exactly when they want to be pregnant. But prior to that, that wasn't the case. Prior to the tampons or pads being invented by a man, by the way, and stuff like that. Like, okay, well, she's having her cycle. It's like she's bleeding. Like, well, she's gonna stay around the home. So like all of this patriarchy that makes men go to work and women stay home. It had nothing to do with trying to dominate women. And for sure, when women finally did start entering the workforce, it's new. So people don't like changes. So men were used to be men, and then men were acting sexist, and stuff like that. But at this point, when I still hear people still talking about bringing um, the pay gap and stuff like that. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? It makes absolutely zero sense. I don't. Yeah, that's what I was asking before. What they're going to do is they're going to say this. Statistically, they could say, okay, let's take all of the women and all the men in the world, okay, and they take all of the women. How much they make per year? All of the men. they do the tally and they go, look, men make a lot more than the women. Okay, fine, sure. But is it because the woman is doing the same job, less pay for them? Or is it that now that the woman and the man have freedom to choose their career, women are more interested in going into careers that happen to pay less than men happen to be more interested in things, and things like engineering, architects, stuff pay a lot more, okay, than people. And women tend to be more interested in working in areas where you're interacting with individuals. Okay, again, huge generalization. We're talking about the general population. There's exceptions on each side. So now we look, and the Netherlands and stuff like that, that people have more choice. Okay, so let's say in the Netherlands, they want equity, so they've given the most equity in that society, and they found out that when men and women are given the equal opportunity, the women tend to choose different careers than the men, and those careers every time overall tend to be less paying. And for that reason, when you do the statistics in this fashion, it looks like women are being paid less. It's just that in a mass, women are interested in jobs that pay less. It's just the way it is. Right? All right. What else can we talk about? Degeneration. Degeneration. Let's see here. Still trying my best to figure out how. So, hey Bruce, if you're able to press the, I know that you usually are not able to press the link. Are you able to try and press the banner to press the link? I mean, private chat. Okay, I see the private chat. Okay, oh, I see Nubs. Is he still here though?
What's up, buddy? It's been a long time.
Give me a sec, Nubs. Okay, good, it worked. Hey Nubs. So you want to give me some of your thoughts on culture right now?
Shit on shit. It's always been shit.
Agreed.
Men aren't men.
Any thoughts on the war or anything like that?
What's that?
Any thoughts on the Israel war?
PSYOP. Bullshit. I've got family over there. There's definitely shit going on, but it's all fake. It's
In
all
Israel?
real and it's all fake. It's all
Yeah.
real and it's all fake.
I could agree with that. You have a family in the Middle East or in actual like Israel or?
Yeah. Yep.
Boy. Oh yeah. So anything new with you?
Not too much. Why am I still blocked in your chat?
Uh,
It
probably.
saddens me. It
But
saddens me that you're not willing to accept a difference of opinion.
the okay, look, I'll unblock you because I don't. There are like stuff like this that I know. Like, hey, well, like we can't have a disagreement here. Like, I just want to know your opinion. But if it's the Christian stuff, like if I'm just
Well,
trying to do
even
the daily reading and stuff like that, like you, you always stay in the back studio, and I can if I don't want you there, I keep on booting you, and you keep on going back, and then I see you, and all I can see is the movement, and then like it pulls my attention away. So at one point, I had to like kick you. Just
well,
just know
I can
you're not.
understand that. And at any
Yeah,
point, if
or
you
else I'll
don't
leave
want
you
me
on
on
it
my stream,
uninvited. Say that again.
you know, at any point, if you really don't want me here, you know, I guess the only option there would be to close down the channel because I have the ability to go wherever, like ultimately. Um, and to have a difference of opinion, even when you're looking at, say, your daily reading, sir, I've read the Bible multiple times. I understand that book to a pretty good measure. I'm no fucking scholar or anything like that, but I understand what I'm talking about.
For me, it's I only have maybe like 10 people probably that follow along with it, and well maybe 20. It actually goes to 50 after a few days, and the ones that do view, they don't like the negativity. They just don't like it. So they're
It's
like
not negative, but that's
they
your
view it as
perception that it is negative. Well, I can't control somebody's viewpoints, nor can they control mine. However, if I've done more research and I am looking to do something similar to what you're doing, you're looking to spread the good news, right?
look, dude.
Would that be an accurate?
All I'm saying is I don't mind bringing you on sometimes, but the religious thing like that, it's I don't have any desire to try and convince you. You know that you know, and I know that I know, and it's not good content. We did a lot of content. If you look at we were
I wouldn't say a lot,
it
but
was about a
nevertheless.
month of interacting with it. I don't enjoy it.
Well, did it make you grow?
It's cracking up again.
Ultimately, did it make you grow as a human being?
Dubs, just I'm not sure if it's your mic. Are you doing something different? Because all I hear is
No, I'm not doing anything different. I have full bars. Let me go out and come back in.
yeah, that's a okay, I'll try.
Is that any better?
Yeah, but it's really bad. I don't know if other people can write in the chat. It's like
My question to you is, did it make you grow?
Yeah, it's like you don't do you hear it yourself?
No.
Anyways, the whole thing is that I decide who I want, obviously, on my channel. I also make the content I want, and the content is deemed as negative by people. They don't enjoy it, and I don't enjoy it either. I've done the response videos, and you're not the first person to have your view, and I'm not the first to have my view. And I don't agree with your view, and you don't agree with mine. Nothing much to talk about. I have no desire to convince you. I have a desire to convince somebody else that might be open to it. And I am just encouraging other people that are on the same path as me to read together. That's it. And if I feel like bringing you on like once in a while here, yeah, I'll say hi. But overall, like we're it's not pleasant. It's I wouldn't think. I'll be honest. Like we're not friends. We're not like buddies or something like that. It's very antagonistic all the time. So it's like yeah, like there's zero desire for any apologetics or anything like that.
Antagonistic. Why would you say antagonistic?
Because it's antagonistic.
By the measure in which you're judging me, so aren't you judged yourself?
No, being antagonistic doesn't mean that you're being wrong. It means that it's antagonizing.
Well,
It's not a bad
the
thing.
antagonist, that is all on your end. That's how you perceive it.
Okay, so look at it this way. I just let you on, and the title is toxic culture. I'm like, okay, how can this
So you
go wrong?
presume that I'm toxic?
I'm going to ask you your view on culture and in relation to whether it's toxic or not. And that's why I invited. Listen, that's why I invited you on. And now it's back to Christianity. So it's like, no, like don't want to
Who's
talk with you.
talking about Christianity? You mentioned why you didn't pull me up on a particular stream. If anything, you brought it up.
Right. So that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm explaining to you
So your
that
persecution should be upon yourself instead of
for the
me. Instead of me.
For the Christian content, I'll invite a guest if I want, and I'm allowed to decide whether this is a reading or this is a debate. And if I don't want the
Absolutely.
morning reading to be a debate, then I don't make it. And I have negative
Sure.
feedback by a lot of the people that just they don't like you. So I don't invite you very often. I'm not going to invite you on the
Well,
Monday stream. You don't do keto
how do you know I don't do keto?
because
Life
you never
life
said
has
that you
gone
did.
by.
Oh boy.
Life has gone by. I've needed to acquire more protein in my diet because I was withering away to nothing. So that's a presumption that you make, just like you presume that I'm being argumentative in any way, shape, or form. Maybe that's just how I talk. And shouldn't we accept people as they are? Isn't that what the good book says?
Like even just this, like again, like you're assuming, like again, this is not a relaxing conversation. It's like, dude, hey, you want to
Well,
talk
you're
about
talking
culture?
about a
I just
toxic
invited
culture
you
and
on.
you're presuming that I am part of that toxic culture
I'm not presuming
by
anything,
your
dude. I invited you on to talk about a specific thing, and I let you
okay.
know there's a reason why I'm not going to invite you on the Christian thing. That's it.
Right. So where it says, in the Great Commission, go for and make disciples of all nations, teaching, preaching, and baptizing them in the waters, that has nothing to do with the Christian channel.
No, it also says that if they don't accept the message that you're saying, just dust off your feet and move on. It also says, and I'll rephrase it because I find it sounds derogatory, but it's not. I phrase it this way: don't present something that is sacred to you if you know that person will trample on it. Instead of saying don't give pearls to pigs, because I find that's derogatory. It's inferring the other person's a pig. But it's definitely, why would you? Why would you waste all of your time, okay, with somebody that does not want to hear your message? On top of it, knows what the message is that you're about to preach. You don't have to.
Well, wait
force
a
yourself
second.
into
You
faith
said
and,
preach,
oh, I gotta
and
continue. I gotta continue. You don't have to. You can
doesn't
just
Christ?
simply say,
Hold
I
on.
believe the
See, you're
gospel.
going against your own book, and that's the dilemma that I see. I see that I know that book far more than you do. Not to mention, or not to say that you're not giving it due diligence. However, I've read and researched that book my entire life. In fact, there were points in my life where I was forced to do so. And so to say that my wisdom has no merit would be just foolish. You know, if you don't understand a scripture as a young Christian, as you would put it, and there's somebody that has read that scripture and has understood it, both in your opinion and also in my opinion. And when I say your opinion, I mean the quote unquote Christian opinion. It would be merely foolish of you to do so.
Dude,
you know, and you can shake your head
dude,
all you want, but you asked
I
me for my
invited
opinion
you.
on one thing. It's much
You
like a
just cannot help
sandwich. If you
yourself.
want my,
You're
I
obsessed,
cannot
dude.
help myself. Is that what you
You
just
can't help
said?
yourself. I
That's pitiful.
specifically invited you here to speak about whatever your view is on culture at the moment, whether you even think it's
Well, see,
toxic
I
or
see
not.
this as
And
toxic
I
culture. I see
specifically
Christians
said,
that
I
don't want to
specifically
sit
said,
there and, yeah,
dude,
now you're going to block me. Yep. I know
because
that.
you're
I
not
know
letting
the
me talk.
routine, man. Well, what you're saying is
Are
not
you going to
true.
let me talk?
What you're
What I
saying
just
is not
said
true.
is I invited you on to talk about a specific topic, and I let you know, yeah, I'm not going to invite you on the Christian stuff. You're not welcome.
So you're
That's
not a
the only
Christian
thing.
in this
And
point
now
in
we're
time?
talking about it. You're not
You
welcome
brought
on
it
my
up.
Christian content.
You brought it up, though.
Yes.
That's the
Saying
dilemma.
I invited you to speak about toxic culture. I said
So,
the
and that is
reason I'm not
toxic culture
inviting
to
you.
me. That is
Pardon?
absolutely toxic culture
can't
to
talk
me.
Dude, I'm just gonna.
How is that not
I'm gonna have
toxic
to.
culture?
Dude, I'm not. I'm driving. I don't know how to.
I
I'm gonna ask you
understand
to leave.
that.
Can you go? Can you go now?
Can I go now? You asked me to have a conversation
Yeah.
about toxic
Yeah.
culture, and now
Yes.
you don't want to talk about what I see
And
as
now I
toxic
don't
culture.
want to talk to you. So I would
So you
like
didn't like
you
my
to do
opinion,
me
so
the
now it's
favor.
get the fuck out, right?
It's get out because you can't stick to the topic. You're obsessed.
I am
You're
sticking
obsessed
to the
with
topic.
Christianity. You are not
No, I'm
sticking to
not
the
obsessed
topic.
with Christianity. I'm absolutely sticking to the topic. The topic is toxic culture, is it not? And half-stepping
I'm literally going to have to
Christians.
pull aside on the road. Can you do me the
Hey, if you
decency?
need to do what you need to do. I'm still talking exactly about what the topic is. You wanted to have this conversation. You brought me up. Now you don't want to hear what I've
Yeah,
got to say
I
because it
tried one
doesn't.
last time to have a conversation.
You're trying.
on
Trying is
something.
preparing for nothing because you failed to prepare.
Oh, God. Dude, the fortune cookies that you memorize and stuff like that, and then you say it to sound wise, it doesn't.
You know, the funny thing
Not
is
gonna
a lot of what I say on this panel specifically and in your chat specifically is directly out
It's
of the
not from
Bible,
the
and
Bible.
90%
Not
is
from the Bible.
missed. That
It's
one
not
was
from the
not. No.
No.
You wanted to talk about toxic culture. I see Christians that don't act like Christians to be toxic for the Christian community. Absolutely.
Enjoy
Where is
yourself.
the love? Love is patient, love is kind, love is gentle, it is not self-loathing, it is not envious, and it never fails. Where are you being that with being agitated at what I have to say?
I'm allowed
You
to
can't
decide. I'm allowed to decide
But that's
If
not what
my
your book
daily
says.
reading is going to be a daily reading, I'm allowed to
That's
decide if
fine.
it's going to be a
And
debate.
when is the last
I'm
time
allowed
I've
to
come up
decide
on
if I'm going
anything
to
like that
invite
other than
somebody.
today? It's
And
been a while,
here
hasn't
is
it,
my
buddy?
here is my attempt to bring you
You
on.
invited it
And
open, said, here you
yes,
go.
you
Here's the
mentioned.
reins.
You said, Jason, why'd you
Where's
block
your
me?
love,
I
sir?
explained to you
Where is
why.
the love, sir? Where's
Where's
the
the love?
love?
Why do I? What are you talking about? Me asking
Love
you.
is patient. Are you not a Christian today, sir? Does it not apply? Do the rules not apply at this moment just as much as they apply on your when you're reading the Bible? Am I wrong there? Am I getting
Dude,
something wrong?
dude, you're very, very wrong because you came on again.
So
You're
you're
rude.
being a Christian.
Again, I'm asking you to calm
Doesn't
off
the
because I
book
don't
say
want
you'll
to
be
crash the car,
persecuted?
dude.
So now you can't
You're
concentrate.
antagonistic.
That
You're
sounds like you've
antagonistic.
got a lot of problems.
I don't have a problem. I'll
Sounds
just
like those are
remember
a bunch
not
of
to let
you
you on.
problems, not me problems. All of these things are you issues.
Yeah, I understand. I let you on. I'm not letting you on again.
So now you're going to complain about a situation that you created.
I'm going to flush you the second I can, and then I'm not
You're
going to
going to
invite you
flush
back
me?
ever again. Hey,
Never again. Weren't you just talking about all these Christian morals and values and everything? How we need to have patience and this and it's all bullcrap, dude. You just get pissed off and all of a sudden now it all goes out the fucking window.
no,
You
I
get
specifically
angry.
told you.
You get
I told
angry and you
you
live in
I
your
don't
anger.
want to talk about Christianity with you because
Then why did you bring it
in
up?
that horse. Because
Then
you
why did
asked
you
me
bring
why
it up?
I blocked you. You asked me, why'd you block me? I said, I blocked you because I don't mind letting you on sometimes, but when it's Christian content,
But
I'm
you
not going to
just
let you.
contradicted yourself by saying I'll never let you up again. You're contradicting your own self. It's not what I'm saying, it's what you're saying, sir.
You can't work with that guy. I tried. I tried my best, guys. I tried. Never again. That guy is just, he's too much. Brucey's, yeah. Of, yeah, that guy has major issues. And first of all, so somebody that you know is not accepting of Christianity, of Jesus, of the gospel, and you are in no way biblically supposed to. Oh, that person over there. Yeah, the Bible. I'm going to go put myself out there. Blah 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 blah. No, if they ask, you can explain why you have faith. If they say, well, that's not a good reason, you don't have to convince them. You're supposed to have a reason for your faith. And I got a reason for my faith. But it also says don't give pearls to pigs. Don't give what is sacred to dogs. So do not give what is sacred, Christ, okay, God, the gospel. Don't give that to a person you know darn well will spit and trample. And he is exactly that person. And I've interacted with him as well as people in the community. And they're not open to debate. And they're just open to completely doing what Nugs Revenge does every single time. I invited him on. He asked me why he was blocked. And I said, because I don't want you on the Monday streams for keto. You don't do keto, you don't do fasting, and I don't want you on the daily reading because you're not Christian. And there's times for debates, there's times for non-debates, and I've debated these people. I've done response videos to Nub's Revenge on the Davidic covenant, and even when you put effort into it, he doesn't acknowledge that you're right or that he's wrong. And I've done the thing where I allowed him to slander me to make a fool of himself, and I was showing that one passage, and now I'm supposed to invite him again, where all I was saying was like, "Oh, dude, you're wondering why you're blocked? You're blocked because people don't appreciate you. My viewers don't appreciate you. They complain that you're there. They say that they're not going to stay if you're there. So I'm not going to accommodate you. And anytime I do try and bring him on, because I like to be able to say that, you know, I've been able to have a normal conversation with somebody, even though I'm Christian and he's not. So, anyways. And then obviously now I'm like, okay, dude, like you're trying to spin me in circles like he usually does, and then after I'm trying to remove him, and I'm like, it's the configuration on your phone. I didn't know how, so I have to endure this guy. But yeah, anyways, that's enough of that guy. I'm almost home. I don't know if too bad Bruce isn't there. Well, anyways, what else can we talk about? So we went through the toxic toxic culture. I'll go as far as to say the West, like I had mentioned, that was founded on Judeo-Christian principles and worldview. That it is because we have turned away from God, the Bible, the biblical God. We've turned away from God, that God is allowing the West, okay, to manifest sin as they wish. So, in God we trust, our judicial system, everything revolved around the Bible. Okay. It was founded on the Bible. We've removed all of that. And now there is this vacuum, this like spiritual void in the West. And what do you think if you've finally removed the boogeyman? We finally got Christianity, that patriarchal support, like this false religion, this patriarchy. Finally got it out. No, remove religion, and you'll get some form of paganism going back in, whether it's a cult, worship of self, materialism, nature work. You're going to end up putting something there. That's the importance of making sure that your children understand vice and virtue, and understand that really virtues come from God. And when God is not in our lives, vices naturally spring up. It's kind of like light and darkness, right? It's like light is the power, is the energy, and the lack of it is darkness. You don't pay your electrical bill and then you pay your non-electrical bill when it's off, kind of thing. So just give me a sec here. What else? Arriving at home in 5 minutes, so we're going to stop this pretty soon. Sorry for the attempt at a conversation. Went exactly as it usually goes with this guy. And yeah, too bad. I would have liked to get Garl here and Bruce. Uh, there's still Kurt. I still have to do the presentation that he's going to do on the what you call it, Secret Society, and he already did one, like a more of a general layout one. So he's going to talk about his investigation research on these secret societies. Maybe dive into one at a time more deeply. I still have to start doing collaborations with Jan Luca. He's French, so those would be done. We're going to do Proverbs, and it'll be done in French, and I'm going to at least try and do that once a week. And that will have to be more if you're in the West during the day, because in France I think they're 8 hours different, maybe. Then there's Bill Bailey, very well researched individual that I happened to talked with on panel. Just took a chance to let him come on. Talked about the Shroud of Turin a bit. So he has a lot of thorough investigation that I would like to have the honor of him sharing on this panel here. Has to do his presentation when he finishes it on the pyramids, the real function of the pyramid. So we have like a lot of good, interesting stuff coming ahead. Stuff going. It's really pretty crazy. Like we have one research that finally got accepted and will be published. Then there's a second one that the first one I'm collabing with, and the second one I am the lead for publication. That one, and now one of my colleagues is starting a research for publication. And I'm going to jump on with him. So I'm leading one, and I'm collabing with two research projects. So hopefully, within a year or two, hopefully within a year, all of this extra work it's all done extra. Like it's not on the clock. The research that I'm doing with these people, so it's on. So that'll be done, and so that's going to be. We're going to be super busy with that. 2-year-old. I got the clinical coordinator position, so that is also different. So we're going to be doing a lot of cool changes in the ICU. So we got a lot of really cool stuff. Very busy, and yeah. So very hopefully I'll fall back a little bit of routine. I'm just happy I was able to come on and at least talk a little bit. Give you guys an update, let you know that no, I didn't fizzle out, or I'm not stopping my channel or anything. It's just everything is very busy and rushed right now, and I just was feeling like overwhelmed, and I didn't feel like doing the videos. It wouldn't have been fun. It would have been like a job or something to do. So yeah, all right. So expect the daily breads to continue. You can go to my playlist. You can look at how they're all organized. We've gone through a couple of the Gospels. We've gone through Romans. We've gone through Jude. We're doing 1 Corinthians now. And yeah, so if you're interested in Christianity, feel free to follow my channel. If you have questions, feel free to ask. You can always come. If you're truly interested and curious about Christianity, we'll invite you on. You can talk. We can chat. We can chat offline if needed. Don't forget, Mondays will be regular keto streams. Hopefully this will be next week. And yeah, that'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern. And guys, and somebody interesting would, you know somebody interesting, don't forget me. Just think about me, and don't forget that my platform can be a platform for hosting debates. I'd like to do that, to be hosting debates. Or if somebody is very passionate and is interested in talking about something, then yeah, like you guys can come on and we can just grow as a community with those things. All right, guys. See you, and God bless.